Hello everybody, welcome to another video. The topic of today's video will be about microwave parts. What are the parts that we are coming for, and some of the dangers and the precautions that you have to consider when coming for these parts and taking them out and taking what you need out of them. So it's going to be mainly about microwave parts, and I got 3 different parts in here, and I'll show you in this video what you have to be careful with and how to take the precious metals out and then scrap everything else. But before I go into it, like always, coffee is priority. So let's get right down to it. First thing that we're gonna come for is what is called the transformer, and it's this heavy part here. Now primarily we are coming for this part here, and the reason for that is because it's loaded with copper. It has a lot of copper. The way that I used to do these to extract the copper is I used to cut this with a grinder on one side. This side, it doesn't really matter. And then once it's cut, with a hammer and a chisel, you push it down, and it comes out the other side. But that's a bit harder. Not too long ago, I was watching a video on YouTube on how to do these without using a grinder. And as it turns out, there is. Now, I'm not original with this idea. I can't remember his name though. It was one of those OG scrappers that have been doing this for years. So this is not my my idea. You know, I'm not original with this. It was actually his idea. I can't think of his name though. If I could think of his name, I would give him credit for it. But I just cannot remember his name. But anyway. There's 2 weldings. There's this welding here on this side, and then there's another one here on this side. And these weldings are not that strong. In fact, they're only here to hold the casing together. That's all that they're here for. So what you have to do is you have to hit it with a hammer, and they will easily come off. Hit it on this side, hit it on that side, and it comes off, and then the copper is exposed, and then all you have to do is push it down on the other side and it comes out. So these are very easy to do. You have to be careful though, because danger, high voltage. Now when these come out of microwaves, you can still use them for other things. You can use these transformers to provide power for other things, or if you have a project that you have going on, you can still use these. But if not, just take the copper out, and then the steel casing, just scrap it. Now here's one that has already been done. As you can see, this is where the copper was. So the copper was here. So you hit the welding on one side, hit it on the other, and then the copper comes out. Now this will sell on the scrapyard. I think it's number 2 copper, because it's dirty. For some reason they put glue on this copper, and then this is some type of paper, and then they just put it in the steel casing. I'm not gonna melt these because it's dirty. I will have a lot of slag if I melt these. So my intention is not to melt them. It's just to take them out and sell them to a scrapyard. And then the steel, I'll get steel prices for it. So that's it for the transformer. And then there's this part here. This is a magnetron. When I've done my video on microwaves, I spoke about this part and how dangerous it is. And the reason why it's dangerous is because it has a radioactive component in here called beryllium. So when this ceramic bit here is holding the beryllium in, although you have to be very careful with this part there's still a lot of things in here that you can get, like aluminium and copper and some brass, and then everything else is steel. You can scrap that. So in here there's 2 copper spools inside of this case. There's a lid in here that's pressed in, and then inside of here there's 2 copper spools. And then you have 2 magnets in here. These are very powerful magnets. And then in between them there is aluminium. I think these are heat sinks, and they are aluminium. And then in here there is some brass. What I've seen some YouTubers do and some scrappers is that they put tape around this ceramic bit, so that in case it breaks, they're not exposed to whatever it is that's inside, most likely beryllium. Because the problem with beryllium is once it goes airborne and you breathe it in, that will give you all kinds of problems. It might actually give you cancer. Some people actually believe that once you tamper with this and what's inside of here goes airborne and you breathe it in, some people believe it's over for you. But as for me, I don't know that for a fact, and I'm not about to find out. So there's quite a few things that you can get from here: aluminium, copper, and some brass. Now here's one that has already been done. Now here is the heat sinks. These are all aluminium. So my intention is to melt these down into ingots. So this is all number 1 aluminium. This is clean aluminium. So I'm interested in this, so I'll take it out. Then these are the 2 copper spools that were inside of that case, that square case. So here they are. This is number 1 copper. This is clean copper. And then there is that brass ring. And here is what is called the core. Now this here is the danger zone. And as you can see, I already put tape around both of them, so that in case, when I'm taking all of the stuff that I need out, in case it breaks, I am not going to be exposed to what's inside. So you should do this. You should put tape around it as a precaution. And then between them, this cylinder is actually copper. Now I've seen some YouTubers grind this part, this core. So they cut it here with a grinder, and then they cut it here, and then they're left with a copper cylinder. And as you can see, I already filed some of it, and as you can see, that's copper. Me personally, I'm not going to do that. What I'll do is I will sell this in a scrapyard as number 2 copper. I will not be cutting this out so that I can get this bit of copper that's here. I'm just going to leave it as it is. But some people take it. Me personally, I'm not going to do that. So this is the core. This is where the danger is. Be very careful when you're dealing with this. You can actually touch it barehanded. You know, I'm not wearing any gloves or anything, but that is because I already taped it. So now if it breaks, I'm not exposed to it, because the tape is isolating it. So this is it for the magnetron. You have copper, you have aluminium, and you have some brass. And then there is another part that you really have to watch out for. You have to be very careful when it comes to microwaves or anything that has an electric charge, that holds an electric current, and that goes across the board for all appliances. But when it comes to microwaves, you have to watch out for this part. This is what is called a capacitor. Even if you unplug a microwave, this can still hold some electric charge in it. And what happens is, if you are taking a microwave apart and it still has electric charge, if you touch this, it can kill you instantly. Because I've been doing some research into this part, and as it happens, they can hold anything from now, depending on the size of the microwave, obviously they're gonna, if it's a bigger microwave, these are gonna be bigger. If it's smaller, these are gonna be smaller. Now this comes from a medium-sized microwave. So depending on their size, they can hold anything from 3 to 10,000 volts. Now if you touch this without any gloves and you touch it, it can instantly kill you. This is no joke. Just today I was watching several videos on capacitors, and there was a man that was taking a microwave apart, and he was using insulated gloves and an insulated screwdriver. So it's good. If there is still some charge left in it, he will not be harmed because he's using insulated equipment. But if not, if you touch this and it still has electric charge, it can instantly kill you. This part here is nothing to mess with. This is the capacitor. Now this is aluminium. But this particular part, I'm not going to do nothing with it, because inside there is a type of gel. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's called, but there is a type of gel inside. So I'm not going to be taking this aluminium because it's just too much hassle. Now, if these still have any electric charge in them, there is one way to drain them. What you do is you get some pliers and you put the pliers in here like so, and you leave it here for a bit, and that will drain the electric current inside of them. So once that's done, it's safe for you to get all the other parts. Me personally, I wasn't aware of this, but then again, you know, knowledge is power. The more you research, the more you find out. So this is it for this video. Microwave parts, transformers, magnetrons, and capacitors. This particular part, I won't be able to melt it down, but I'll sell it to a scrapyard. This will sell as dirty aluminium because it has other elements. But that's it for this video. Microwave parts. Anything that I've missed, please let me know in the comments. Something that I should have addressed. Like the video if you must. Pass it on, you know, share it. And that's it for this video. Everybody, thank you for watching.